in personalized medicine, signifying, and in Sapien signifying personalized medicine and microarrays and thumbprints. So moving on, I just wanted to give you a sense of what our objectives are. Sapien is really been set up to systematically create a biobank of ethically consented human samples along with the associated data in an anonymized manner, and use that biobank as a resource for doing several things. One among them being building research tools such as human cell cultures, cell lines, microarrays to enable life sciences R&D. The second important objective of building a biobank is to develop and market high-end personalized medicine tests to hospitals and healthcare companies. And that's the objective that we are here to talk about today. But apart from these two, we're also engaging with pharma and biotech collaborators to provide R&D services for drug, biomarker, and diagnostic screening. Now, along with saying what Sapien is, I just wanted to leave it out there to say what it's not. We're not in regenerative medicine. We're not into transplant applications. So we're purely an R&D services company. And if you think about it, we're leveraging the information that's at every layer of these human samples, including the associated data, to derive intelligence and information out of it. So biobank as a concept is not new. It's been growing prominently internationally. There is a growing need in India. In 2010, Time magazine called it one of the 10 ideas that's changing the world, and the number of biobanks have really grown dramatically in the last decade. So just as much as in the US, the need is being felt everywhere else. There was a paper last year that talked about how India is badly needing a next-gen cancer biobank that will really enable Indian research, and how the lack of this is a major handicap. So we're trying to fulfill that particular gap, and we aspire to be like one of those that you see on the screen. Hopefully in another few years we'll be as big as any of them. Our business model is to leverage samples from Apollo and other hospitals to build this bank, to leverage capabilities from our partners like Strand or other technology partners, and in turn provide personalized medicine services to hospitals as well as R&D services to pharma and biotech. In terms of our offerings, like I said, we have R&D services, we have the research tools, but we address the personalized medicine need on the clinical front through 3 different varieties of tests, be it prognostics, diagnostics, or theranostics, and you'll hear about each one of them shortly. So what is our strategy for genetic diagnostics at Apollo? This particular space is rather evolving quite rapidly. There's a lot of technologies, there's a lot of burgeoning companies in the space. So we've gone about systematically identifying and engaging with best-of-breed players like Strand Life Sciences, and in this process we're trying to be compliant with ICMR guidelines, not send any samples outside. We're mapping out the various technologies on offer, conducting diligence on these different tests, and then putting out a roadmap for integrating this at Apollo, and you'll see that roadmap in the next slide. And in this process, engaging clinicians proactively so that they're at the center of this decision-making process. And you'll hear that repeatedly from us and Strand, and that's why we're aligned in philosophy. After that, we've entered into agreements, and we're in the process of rolling out these genetic diagnostic tests. So going into this pipeline, very briefly, genetic diagnostics is not new. I mean, all hospitals do it, and Apollo has a very good pathology lab in every single hospital in terms of doing immunohistochemistry, karyotyping, and FISH, and so on and so forth. But really the technology is of age in terms of next generation of diagnostics. And if you think about it, that can be applied in 2 contexts. Either personal genomics, which is preventive health check context, which is a big area of focus for Apollo, and there's a tremendous amount of success that Apollo has had in that space, as well as clinical genomics, where there's a physician prescription context. But what we want to do is to ensure that the physician is integrated in both contexts, that it's not a patient-based direct-to-consumer testing. Within this space, there are 3 types of tests possible. Again, like I said, prognostic, diagnostic, and theranostic. Prognostic being risk assessment, diagnostic being differential diagnosis, and theranostic being treatment monitoring optimization. So we have charted out a roadmap for bringing tests in every single category, be it in the prognostic space where we offer choices to asymptomatic patients in consultation with their doctors to take on tests that are multiple diseases. For example, we have a test that will roll out shortly in the cardio, diabetes, obesity space, or they could go for a comprehensive test. Apart from that, if somebody is symptomatic or they have a family history of disease, they could go for disease-specific panels. In the diagnostic space, and this is where everything in blue is the Strand test that we're going to talk about and focus on primarily. This gets into the area of differential diagnosis, where you have the clinician prescribing these tests and using the information from there to differentially diagnose the disease and help the patient get the right care at that point in time. Apart from this, we're also engaging with other providers to bring in other tests in this space, be it in cystic fibrosis, autism, dystrophy, perinatal genetics, as well as specific pharmacogenetic panels that are disease specific. That gives the clinician an option of addressing their patient's needs. And other tests as well, such as the circulating tumor cell test, circulating endothelial cell test, which again help the patient or the physician with treatment monitoring and optimization. In that particular theranostic space, Sapien has already launched the MyPlatelet test. We did it about a few months back, which is again helping physicians optimize their patients' antiplatelet therapy post PCI.